Hello, my name is Michael Schmitz. I am pleased to make a presentation to you on the globalization of Nike Air Jordan shoes. More specifically, I will be discussing how they came to be sold at a local Nike factory store in Gainesville, Florida. In the world of athletic footwear, Nike is the 600-pound silverback gorilla. It is currently the most successful sports brand in the world, with global revenues recorded at $36.4 billion, over 74,000 employees worldwide, and over 1,000 retail stores around the globe. Its global development as a firm is a case in point on the effects of globalization on the operations of companies, particularly the spread of labor overseas. The manufacturing and production of shoes is a laborious endeavor, and the cost of labor in the United States is high compared to its cost in developing nations. As a result of this, 99% of all shoes sold in the United States are manufactured in foreign countries. Nike Air Jordans are no exception to this. The supply chain that Nike operates to sell its Air Jordan basketball shoes in Gainesville, Florida is intricate and can be traced back to the procurement of the component materials that are used to make them. There are many materials used to produce Air Jordans, the main ones being polyester, rubber, EVA foam, cotton, synthetic leather, and leather. Nike buys its materials from 1,500 independent businesses that include material vendors, suppliers, and companies. Nike gets most of its polyester from China and India, most of its rubber from Thailand, Indonesia, and Malaysia, most of its EVA foam from China, most of its cotton from China, India, Turkey, and the United States of America. Nike buys most of its synthetic leather from China and Taiwan and buys its leather from suppliers and tanners in China and Vietnam. These materials are then manufactured in independent factories to make the Air Jordans that are then sent to distribution centers around the world. All Nike Air Jordans, along with all other Nike shoes that are meant to be sold in the United States, are sent to the Nike Distribution Center in Memphis, Tennessee. From there, the Nike Air Jordans that are meant to be sold at the Nike factory store in Gainesville are shipped via truck there. Nike's use of cheap foreign labor due to the comparatively higher costs of labor in the United States is a stark example of how globalization leads to the movement of labor and capital around the world. Nike's supply chain that enables it to transport products to Gainesville that were manufactured half the diameter of the planet away is unique in its affordability and cost efficiency. It saves the company 15 cents per unit that they produce when compared to a standard supply chain distribution system. This gives Nike a tremendous competitive advantage over its competitors, considering that it transports more than 900 million units every year. This cost effectiveness is gained by the company's use of the production capabilities of independent suppliers of its raw materials and manufacturers that produce its products in factories in 14 countries spread throughout the world. 96% are in Vietnam, Indonesia, and China, but production levels are spread quite evenly among them, as none of these factories singularly produces more than 5% of Nike's total annual production of athletic footwear. This system gives Nike the ability to lower its costs by limiting the number of intermediaries that it must pay and negotiate contracts with. The impact of the Air Jordan on Nike as a company is difficult to overstate. It is an iconic sneaker that symbolizes the dazzling athletic abilities of the infamous Michael Jordan, and it is a product that captures the imagination of kids, teenagers, and young adults who want to soar through the air to score a breathtaking dunk in the NBA Finals while the world watches transfixed. It has contributed greatly to Nike becoming a household name, at least in the West, and accounts for a large portion of its sales. Without the Air Jordan having ever existed, the Nike brand would no doubt not be as impactful, well-known, and overall as successful as it currently is. Nike's policies are centered around sustainability and environmental protectionism. The company has pronounced that it works with its suppliers to use materials in the production of its products that are environmentally friendly and reusable, and to minimize the number of materials that it uses in its products. This works hand in hand with the minimization of Nike's production costs, as it simplifies the design of its products and reduces its expenses on raw materials. Examples of the environmental protection initiatives undertaken by Nike that relate to the Air Jordan include the recycling of 19% of the polyester used to make these sneakers, the use of environmentally friendly rubber in most Air Jordans, and the use of EVA foam, which is a very environmentally friendly material. These efforts have been largely successful for Nike, and it is now one of the top 3 climate-friendly companies in the world. Nike's policies have also been shaped by previous controversies that it has been embroiled in regarding its contracts with factories in Asia and Mexico that were exposed as subjecting its employees to poor working conditions. Nike was even accused of using child labor in the 1990s. The company has since made concerted efforts to improve the working conditions of employees in the factories that produce its products, and it has been acclaimed for doing so. Overall, Nike's global production and distribution of its Air Jordan sneakers is a prime example of how globalization interconnects economies around the world, and how products that are globalized can come to have tremendous cultural significance. Nike's global production of its Air Jordans also exemplifies how corporations that operate on a global scale should be careful not to engage in business practices that harm workers or economies around the world, and that they can make an incredibly positive impact on the world by taking the right initiatives. I hope that this presentation has been informative and entertaining and will assist you in being a productive global citizen. Thank you for all your help and patience this semester, Professor Good. I will miss you and this class. Go Gators!